Alrighty guys, so I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. What I ended up deciding I was going to do is I'm going to go along and do a bunch of little spot welds or tacks like I did along here. Like I said, as you guys can see, the material I left was not perfect, but it'll be alright. Big hole through here too. I think I probably didn't have a lot of material there. I don't know. You kind of got to like look at it here and then go on the other side and figure out what's going on. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I went and laid a pretty decent weld there. Could have went a little further, but yeah, tacked that there. And I started doing the same on the other side, and I figured I better quit for the night. About every inch and a half or something like that, I'm kind of welding them because these aren't going to be real structural. These are just more so for my, my mind being. What really should be done is this should be like seam sealed underneath, but there is so many seams to seal, and I think seam sealer is pretty expensive. I don't know. Have to look it up. I honestly have no idea, but I think the next best thing I can do is I can just bed line over the whole thing, and that'll seal it up pretty good. Like I said, that'll involve me getting this thing fairly clean, which is going to take a lot of elbow grease. So, but still got holes and stuff to fill in. I don't know if you guys can see from two there. But step around here to the other side. Let's see, where can you see that? Well, like there is that line going along the bottom there. And I think where I'm seeing the holes through is right here, I think. So we're looking back here. But you can see the line down through there where I was welding. That's where you're at, comparatively speaking, to the top of the patches I had. So as you can see, I didn't have a lot to work with there. I mean, I had some. Because basically I just overlapped them over and welded them. I didn't like flange them and weld them flush or nothing. This is a bed floor. It's not a bedside or anything. I was debating about seeing if I can get at this dent. Can I get at this dent back? I'm gonna say probably not. Yeah. I mean, it's like, is that it there? I think that probably is it. Yeah, I could probably hammer that dent out, actually. Surprising, I figured I'd be screwed over, but I think, again, you guys get the general gist of what I'm up to. I'm gonna finish that part up, and then the only real pieces I have to cut out and actually weld back on is the pieces for down in the front that I've talked about like 17 times and haven't done. And I haven't decided I should do it, is cut the piece of the cross member off there and get that cut off of that piece there. So, because that'll make it more righter, more better. So, okay guys, like I said, I'm gonna quit here for Memorial Day weekend. So, I think I have no idea how much dirt or whatever I got on my face, but I think I got enough material for a video. So, alright guys, thank you guys for following along and watching. Not a lot of doing the actual work, but that's because it's just tedious, and this is my good camera and I don't want to weld with this camera. If I feel froggy, I'll get the old camera out and do a little bit of welding with that one because I don't mind screwing it up. So, alright guys, catch everybody in the next one. Later. I don't know if I was in frame or not. Later. sometimes it's little things. Brand new tips, hitches put on. The only thing that's really left to do back here is, well, I gotta level these across a little bit, and I gotta cut them brackets off the bumper, not the brackets, the extra plate off the bumper brackets, and bolt that back on. And then once I'm done with the bed and the fuel line, we'll be done back here. Well, from the frame paint job and frame job, I was done in 2008. This is now 2019. Be about 11 years almost exactly. It was June of 2008 we did that, whenever I got out of school for the year. It might have been right at the end of the year before graduation. This thing was cut apart over at Grandpa's garage, but I got a few things I'm going to address, and I'm not going to point at them, but they are in frame right now here. And I got to do some more welding on the exhaust. The top's pretty good. At the bottom there's holes in. I forget where they are exactly, but if you start it up you can feel them, and if I remember right you can see them. I need to take a light down there and look at it, but oh no, it's not too awful bad. I mean, there's some rust to it, granted. If you're wondering what this is, this used to have a fifth wheel hitch right here welded in. It was a piece of channel that went straight across there to the other frame rail, but since we changed the other frame rail, there's not the matching piece on that side. We there was a big debacle on whether to leave that in there or not, just as extra frame stiffener, but in the end we ended up cutting it out. Figured weight reduction, you could haul 100 pounds more. A piece of C-channel that was in there, I swear, weighed 100 pounds, but it cleaned up fairly decent. I'm sure I missed some spots. No, I guess that doesn't come off. That's rust there too. Yeah, I got a few things I gotta decide what I'm gonna deal with up here. This frame is actually pitted pretty good right through here, so decide what I want to do there and everything. And there's a spot down here too. That almost looks like a weld through though. I don't know. Like I said, I got to do some investigative work here and see what I want to do, because there's I think the bed mount's up here, right? So I can't really plate over top of it. I can plate to the frame. I don't know. Debating about cutting this off and then putting it on there flat. Some bolts and washers, but I don't know if it's worth the headache. I think it's welded solid at the bottom, not at the top, which is a problem where I live because it freezes, and when stuff gets in between there, it freezes. It pushes everything apart. So everything is, it traps moisture. So I could even do something really dumb and fill it full of JB weld. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but things I gotta make up my mind, and changing the fuel lines I gotta do. I can check the vent. I think it's okay, but I'll check that while everything's apart here and make it as right as I can. I have looked on spin you guys around here so you can look at me, but I have looked at on eBay for stainless brake line kits for this, and I can't find a short bed regular cap one. I can find a regular cap long bed, but the short beds were they weren't as popular, is about the best way to put it. It's not that they're not sought after, because they're a small truck, which makes them nice nowadays, getting in and out of parking lots and stuff. So this will, like I said, this will end up being I will drive it to work and drive it places while it's not raining or anything, truck. But the more and more I'm looking at this body, the more and more I'm realizing it should really be painted, or something should be done with it. I'll spin you guys around and show you what I'm talking about, because this side here especially, I don't know if you guys can see like the white polka dots in it. That's all where the black has peeled on it. And I was screwing around with that spot in the bed I screwed up, and it's more noticeable now. So and you can see where whoever did this and painted this, they faded it in inside the bed here, because you can see they taped like across here or something. So yeah, I don't know. But alas, let me get everything put away here. I gotta get the pressure washer on my red truck and get that put away. And I washed the 9N Ford while I had that here, and go back and decide if there's any Gravely's I want to pressure wash. Well, I got the pressure washer at the house because I don't borrow stuff from work too often. They don't care, but I just don't like to borrow stuff. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about there. So okay, let me quit talking to the camera and get something done. I think his tire is about flat. That's why it looked, the driver's side looked lower when I was sitting or looking at it there. Alright guys. Chooch! Chooch! Did Jimmy fall down the well? What's the matter, Chooch? What? Talkative. Okay, Chooch. Yep, say goodbye. Say bye.